Welcome to Cold Hard Trash CRT episode. Oh shit, we didn't check before we started. Was it 48?
3.
40? Were we on 43 really?
No, I'm just said 3.
Oh shit. I don't know what episode number we're on.
Don't worry, I'm on it, boss.
I think it was 48 or 49, maybe
46.
47. I was way off. 46.
Remember, we always
46.
start on the even one.
That's why I said 48. That's why I was like, I thought it was too much though. Welcome to episode 48 though. Hope you're doing well.
46.
I know. I was doing a bit.
Okay.
So you said you had something to start us off with.
I think we have a... I want to place a prediction, make a bet, on what will potentially be the word of the year 2025.
Okay.
And that is the term slop.
Slop. Why
Yes.
slop?
So, slop, I pulled up some Google Trends. The history of the word, obviously, slop, you put it in a trough for pigs to eat or whatever. It means,
Right.
something messy and stuff like that.
Yeah, just goop.
Around July 2024 is when the term AI slop started to pick up.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would say that is how it sort of entered the lexicon again.
Makes sense, yeah.
More popularly. Right after, because July 2024 is a low point, and I looked it up, and there's a couple of different releases of models that happened around that time. And lo and behold, in September of 2024, we're up to 91% of its lifetime, popularity, I guess.
Jeez.
Down from 55 in July.
So people are slopping everywhere. They're calling everything AI slop.
No, this is just the term slop itself.
Oh.
AI slop, in general, has just had a straight climb from July 24th.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, relative to just the term slop, its highest is 19%. Because the way the Google Trends works is that, 100 is just, this is the most popular it's ever been. This is when it was most frequently searched.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
So, the term slop is definitely more popular. And I think there is a sort of way that we can see that. And that is the term slop being used as a sort of suffix, or a replacement for a noun in a lot of situations. If you heard the term friend slop,
No.
that is a term that some people use to describe games that are sort of designed to you pick them up and just sort of play them with your friends, which is kind of funny. That's the definition.
Friend slop, so literally just a game you play with your friends, but it's
There's
doesn't
a
have
bit
the
more
depth.
to it. Think of Repo. Think of Lethal Company.
Right, but I wouldn't
Think
call that slop. I feel like is a disingenuous term to throw on them. Those games are fun.
Well, I think that the term slop, it's not as much of a derogatory sense as it is a light ribbing on it.
I guess, yeah.
Also, these games are almost always
yeah,
in beta,
that's
incomplete,
true. They are usually
prone to bugs, but still fun.
Right.
The bugs are part of the fun.
Right. That's fair. They are usually early access type games that just stay in early access forever.
Yeah,
That's fair.
So I think that definitely leads to point towards slop, even though slop it still sounds mean.
Yeah, that's a little mean.
It does sound, it's a little bit too mean, but if you stop thinking about it and you accept it as a more neutral word, I feel it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's a term that has been going around. There was one guy on Twitter once that referred to the Dark Souls games as a roll slop, which is pretty funny. And I think that is more... I guess that's evidence of two things. One, that slop doesn't need to necessarily mean that the game itself is buggy or not good, or the product itself is of low quality.
Right.
But it maybe has a slop of a certain thing in it. In
Yeah,
the Dark
just
Souls games, you're rolling all the time.
Yeah. Roll slop.
Another one that I saw from a 4chan post is wife slop, which is supposedly... I need to add that to the Google, to the trends. Oh, no, I tried to do that, and it wouldn't give me anything.
Wife slop.
Yeah.
That also sounds kind of derogatory and mean.
Well, the user who... Yeah, it's at 0 for all time. Does it have something? No. But the users used the term in a way that made it sound like, it was generally used amongst the different 4chan users, I guess.
Right.
And this also, it sounds really mean, and if you hear it and you're the wife, like, you're going to take it in a really bad way. But from the person, they aren't thinking of it that way. It's like, basically what it is, you come home and your wife made sure there was a dinner.
Right.
And it's not like anything fancy, but it's made with love, and it's kind of a bowl of things. It's like just a bunch of shit mixed together and warm. And it's good, tasty, but it sort of looks like a slop.
I mean, that's what, like, most meals are. It's like saying, oh, yeah, you just threw noodles and chicken together and whatever with some Alfredo sauce. That's fucking wife slop. It's like, what else is chicken Alfredo? What the fuck are you talking about?
I think part of it is that it's low effort, but you still show up and do it.
Okay,
And I think
guess
the person who said it in this particular post definitely was using it in, like, an endearing way. Like,
right.
He was happy to receive the wife slop. But his wife got really offended at that, which, honestly, don't blame her.
Yeah,
and I don't think he blamed her either. It's like, oh shit, yeah, normal people don't talk that way.
Right.
But, I mean, according to everything I can find here, like, what terms do I got in here? I got slop, AI slop, but lowercase, different trend, dead internet theory, and wife slop. And if we're going back to the AI thing, dead internet theory did have a spike just before July 2024, which was, July 2024 was the low point of just the word slop in general.
Right.
And then it had another spike directly on July 2024. So it seems like it's probably the same people talking about using the term AI slop and using the term dead internet theory.
Sure.
And kind of shifting what topic they're talking about at the time.
Makes sense, yeah.
In my opinion.
I could see people, like, in both of those camps, like, having that same viewpoint.
Well, if you look right here, it actually dips again down to a local minima in January 2025, where slop goes down, but dead internet theory goes up at the same time. So there might be an inverse relationship going on there. Yeah,
I wonder if it's just, like, literally, there's bots associated with it, too. Literally pushing, speaking of the dead internet theory, just pushing that narrative.
Then they're just an advocate for themselves.
Yeah, but...
yeah, we're here. We're AI bots.
Yeah? What are they going to do about it? Then people will be like, oh, so what, dead internet theory? It's so true. And even though it's really not, but you make people believe it is. There's probably some profit in that. There's some way to market.
I mean, I believe in dead internet theory as, like, a thing we might deal with in the future. I don't think of it as a thing that, like, 100% of users are not robots.
No, that's
I'm
not,
on the internet.
Right.
I know another person on the internet.
Right. That's theory proven.
Yeah.
I know a couple people on the internet. They're not bots.
Yeah. But did you hear that, speaking of that 4chan post, though, 4chan got hacked?
Yeah, I did hear about that. I didn't know any, like, details of it, though.
It got taken down, I believe.
Oh, shit.
And there's rumors going around. This is not something that I should have researched before coming here. But rumors that a lot of the admins have government emails. It should be like, well...
That's pretty funny.
Are you just running 4chan now? Or not anymore. But.
I mean, yeah. I mean, probably. They're probably a little bit of a propaganda thing. They probably have their tentacles in there.
Yeah. But it turns out, I'm pretty sure the guys that ended up taking out 4chan were, like, more racist than 4chan.
God. Wait.
That's why they took them down for being too woke.
What? That's the craziest twist of it all.
Yeah.
What the hell?
There was a specific board that was taken off of the website due to, like,
the
extremism
politics
and
board
stuff
or
like
whatever.
That. No, politics was still around.
Oh, weird. What board was more extreme than that?
Honestly, probably some really niche hobby.
It's just fucking weird.
But yeah, 4chan got taken down, and they supposedly reinstated that board when they took control of the website. Oh, 4chan.org. Service unavailable.
Woo!
Still down.
Oh, well.
Took it down.
Yeah, I'm not really going to miss it. I never really used it. Oh, well.
I've looked on it before.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
I've seen posts taken from it. It's kind of like a proto Reddit. Sorry, 4chan. But where it's just an actual forum, and like I think that the humor from 4chan ended up really influencing like the internet.
Yeah,
you
definitely. Definitely, but
the way
it's-
of telling stories and like setting things up, with the green text posts and stuff, is
Right.
a pretty significant format.
line by line, it is famous. Green texts are still popular today. I'm pretty sure there's like outside of 4chan just like green text makers for the internet, just so you can make your look like it was a post from 4chan.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild.
The forum that ran the takedown was soyjack.party.
Eh. Wait, that was the forum? So there's a Soyjack forum?
Yeah, a rival forum called soyjack.party. A celebratory post bragged that a hacker had been inside 4chan system for over a year.
Jesus. Well, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything about the board that got deleted, but there was like that other forum sort of came about from 4chan deleting a board. And well, it bit him in the ass, I guess.
Yeah, it's the weird thing, like, what's that internet diary? Like, don't fuck with cats. Like, 4chan was one of the biggest things, like, kind of help law enforcement track the guy down. It's like, 4chan also shouldn't fuck with weird people on the internet, because there's people who are even weirder, I guess, that can take them down.
And I guess a final note about 4chan. Do you understand the name?
I don't believe so, no. Is there, like, an origin to it?
Do you know what its logo is?
No, I know it's 4 leaves, like, right, the 4-leaf clover? Or, like, just, like, twisted up?
4chan?
Oh, is that it?
Yep.
Neat.
Fortune.
Woo. That's
it.
terrible. That's I thought it would be like it was for one of 4 like people who had that name or whatever.
No.
I don't know.
No, I don't know anything about the mods or anything like that, or the owners, but I know that they like would refer to him, like they knew who was the owner of the website and like would talk about him. I think it was Moot.
Oh yeah, I
Who's
thought
the
that
guy's
name rings
name?
familiar back in the days of being on the internet a lot.
Yeah, but that term has actually been completely replaced by another one of Moots, which is like it no longer refers to the guy that ran 4chan. It refers to mutuals. So people post it on Twitter or like social media things where instead of it being a friend mechanic like thing, it's I follow you, you follow me type deal. And a moot is a mutual, which means we follow each other. So someone might like there's settings and stuff where you can only have like mutuals respond to your posts, and like only mutual friends can see certain things that you do. So, there's a term for it. Obviously, if you're following people back, if you two people are following each other, that's a closer relationship than just one following the other.
Right. Yeah, no, that's the mutual relationship is like, yeah, you're actually like they acknowledge you at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rip Fortune.
Rip in pepperoni. Speaking of mods of a different variety, though, I saw an opinion online that it rang true. I couldn't agree with it more. When a mod gets horny games, that's when you really know it's good. Or let me flip that around. When a game gets horny mods, that's when you know it's good. I fucking word saladed that.
Well, when a mod gets horny games, when
a regular guy gets horny games.
When a fan fiction gets a movie, like 50 Shades of Grey, the fan fiction of Twilight.
Of Twilight, and it gets a movie. Yeah, I guess that would be a mod getting a horny game.
Yeah.
But when a game gets a horny mod, is what I really meant to say. That's when you know that like the fandom of that game is so like dire, like devout to it that they really want to make mods for it to make like to the point where they want to have sex with it. I guess.
I guess. Yeah. Well, part of it also, I feel like there's a bit of just like an undercurrent of like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and
like
that's what I'm saying.
Someone's gonna do it, but like if it becomes a big thing.
If it's big enough, then yeah, that's what you're saying. Someone's gonna do it, but like it's only if games like like I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of a game that got like a little bit of mods that didn't really get a whole lot of traction. Like I don't know, Fallout 3 that has a modding scene to it. It has some mods for it, but not really like a gigantic, thing to where there's a whole bunch of horny mods compared to Fallout New Vegas, where there's tons of horny mods for that.
Starfield doesn't get any mods. It doesn't have a lot of mods. The whole community sort of abandoned it immediately.
Right.
So, rip.
That's how you know.
I wonder if there are any, though. Any horny mods for Starfield.
Yeah, you can look on Nexus. Left 4 Dead 2, tons of horny mods. Every single mod on Left 4 Dead 2 and the most subscribed is an anime girl of some kind with like a 2-inch skirt.
The thing is, I also think there's always going to be another thing about there's always going to be the horny mods is that I'm pretty sure there's a bunch for Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah,
you can already have like an 8-foot tall naked woman.
Yeah, I was gonna say Baldur's Gate is just pretty horny in general, and you can already
mod it. It's already there.
You can already make it hornier. That's how you know the game is good. It's already so horny, and people were like, "I need to fuck it further."
Yes.
That's how you know a game is good. Once they start getting the people of the game really legitimately just want to start having sex with the different aspects of it, it's connecting with them on that level.
I mean, download the mods at your own discretion. I personally do not need.
I don't need
in my games.
Right, especially for something like Fallout New Vegas. I really don't need those graphics to be naked for me.
It was a big realization for me that like how much those like dating sim games are like really sexual.
Oh yeah, that's like the whole thing of them.
Yeah, I mean, I should have known from the beginning, but I didn't.
This is what do you think? It's like people are trying to get good at being dating, however that would be.
Just fix some loneliness. The warmth of knowing you made a good decision and to strengthen a relationship, and some robot wants to fuck you, I guess. But
just porn. You put a little bit of work into it, though.
Well, I walked in on some friends playing one. It was like a shark girl dating sim.
Oh.
And like most of it is like really just making decisions and like talking and stuff like that. And at the end, it's a game of fucking bubble bobble. And as you clear the bubbles, she takes off her clothes. And I was like, what?
That sounds like a fucking Flash game. Was he playing this on Steam?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, it wasn't also a he. It was like 5 people all together, watching this on the projector.
That's pretty funny then. That's just for memes, but that's wild.
Well, I just didn't know we would have that type of shit.
Some people just like porn in every aspect of their life, I guess, even when they're playing their little bubble bobble games.
Yeah.
That's why I've seen that though. I remember all the Flash games, like on Newgrounds especially. There'd always be like the pori hentai games or whatever.
I mean, there's a friend of mine has a lot of intrigue in them. I mean, he thinks they're funny, but
intrigue.
Like, how hot can you really find it?
I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I played as like a probably 9 or 10-year-old and was just like, ooh, cool. And like the second level started, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing this again. I'm just gonna go watch regular porn if I really want to.
Yeah. Some crazy shit on Newgrounds. Also, Newgrounds is full of like just animations of like video game characters completely like myrtleizing each other.
Yeah, getting killed. There was like a bunch of like torture ones I remember, especially of all like the Nickelodeon ones, like Powerpuff Girls and Rugrats and stuff, like the little kids ones. It was weird.
How many animations do you think are on Newgrounds that make a joke about Mario doing mushrooms?
Oh my god, that's like every single
Thousands?
Animation about Mario. Yeah, no, doing mushrooms and then like his eyes get all ooh. Yeah, absolutely. Mario with a gun, also a classic. Hundreds and hundreds of those.
This definitely was probably a bad idea for me in the long term. But I watched a lot of Robot Chicken as a kid.
Oh yeah, classic.
Because I had to like stay up really late. I just have trouble sleeping, and
of course.
Throw on an Adult Swim, and then Robot Chicken would come on. It's incredibly violent and
Absolutely.
honestly not very funny. It's just a lot of vomit and gore.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me with Robot Chicken was it was like the one time where like, oh, even Family Guy made a joke about it of like, oh, these things existed, because it just made like a thing of like He-Man, and they mentioned Resident Evil and all these different like, pop culture things that weren't really mentioned. Like, oh, they actually like these things. As a kid, I was like, oh, cool, I can relate to this sort of. But yeah, no, it's once I started watching as I got older, that kind of that relation got old. I was like, none of this is funny. It's all just shitty gag humor, just trying to be like, woo, eh.
There's a lot of vomit. There's a lot of vomit.
Yeah, I mean, it's puke funny, poop funny. I remember there's the one where there's like the jack-o'-lanterns and the kids like just like spend like 30 seconds straight pooping in it. It's just like, that's all right. Still pooping.
I guess part of why I bring it up too is I feel like that entire like, you know, the gross out thing is less popular now. Like, I maybe just got older and stopped finding it funny, but I think it's less popular. I think there's less of it being made. And I think that it comes in the same time period as a lot of those Newgrounds things where, you know, they shoot Toad from Mario in the head and his brains explode everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's just like that angsty, weird, like hyper-violent era of that some kids get into, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. It's like, it feels like just a phase that kids go through of like the SpongeBob gangster tattoos with a gun, like, and like, oh, every kid thinks that's cool at some point.
That aged well. I really like that now.
I love seeing those like the sticker machines of like just random like shops. Like you pay 50 cents and perhaps get one of those like Bugs Bunny with a grill or something like that. It's just ridiculous.
That is high fashion. Right there.
Who were those for?
Put that on a notebook.
I remember seeing them and thinking like, oh, that's kind of neat as a kid. And then like the next time I saw it, just being like, that's the dumbest thing. Like it was for the briefest moment in time, I thought it might have been a cool thing. But why? Who was it for and why?
Nah, it got cool again. Truly, I am so into it now.
I'm so into it. You're so into like SpongeBob with like a bunch of money and like kicks and like Sandy laying around with him smoking a joint and everything, like that cool. There's a Timmy Turner one too.
It gives me
really
a
famous.
chuckle. Yeah, where he is Cosmo and Wanda is
and
like
a bong.
Cosmo is like the bag of weed and Wanda's the bong.
Oh, that is the lamest shit in the
world.
It's
a good genre. It's a real good genre. But it is like, I like it ironically.
Right, I was gonna say the people who actually are like, yeah, I'm gonna get this as my background on my wallpaper for my phone. It's like
I wish I could enjoy it more deeply in an honest way.
I don't. The people who have that as their phone background wallpaper, just Timmy Turner with a bong and everything, I don't want to be around those people.
I should honestly change that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. We have so many more episodes to get through. I can't end the podcast here. It'd be terrible for business.
Well, I have like different backgrounds, right? Like you can set modes for like work and stuff. So I could have my like non-work mode, like, you know, at work, professional, the Pokemon, I guess. Regular patterns, something that matches the color of my phone. Out of work, Timmy Turner with the bong.
Hell yeah, cool Timmy Turner. Dude, speaking of animations though, Tom and Jerry. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer was the company that owned them. I always remember the lion like starting to roar. They were, I can't think of any other cartoons that weren't owned by like one of the giant conglomerates. Like they're not Disney, they're not Hanna-Barbera, they're not Nickelodeon. They're just kind of their own thing over there. Is there anything that's like with them?
Well, I would say
is there anyone else in the Tom and Jerry universe?
These companies that you're thinking of are possibly publishers. So their names show up on everything, and they do own some type of rights for it. But there's going to be smaller studios, either as part of that larger company, or just, you know, a smaller independent studio that can put out.
Right, but I'm pretty sure Tom and Jerry is independent of all those like large umbrellas, is what I was saying.
Oh, is it not MGM?
I think it is MGM, but MGM doesn't own like the other cartoons and whatnot. You don't see MGM on like a Bugs Bunny thing or a Mickey Mouse cartoon or anything like that from Disney or from Nickelodeon. Certainly not on SpongeBob and things like that. And
I wonder what it was on. Like what network? Was it Cartoon Network?
Yeah, it was on Cartoon Network. I think it was on Cartoon Network and then it went on to Boomerang.
Honestly, it's all owned by Viacom probably.
Is it? That's literally the point I was gonna make of the that one graph of like only 13 companies own everything type of shit. I wonder if Tom and Jerry is separate of that, where they're just like standalone.
I don't think it's out of that.
Well, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see what if MGM or Viacom was the other one you said? They're like the ones that own Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah, they own like multiple networks.
Right.
I mean, did you see any of the 2000s, 2010s like Tom and Jerry movies? They did like a whole great Amazing Race type thing.
Yeah, I did see the Amazing Race one. Yeah, it was Wacky Races. They basically did a big Wacky Races movie. Is Wacky Races also MGM or is that Hanna-Barbera?
I don't know.
Shit.
I think I just really think at the end of the day, one, almost all these things are owned by the same people, and two, you just sort of look at the crossover media, and whoever shows up together is probably generally from the same people.
Right.
Like Tom and Jerry, they show up in Multiversus, right? That's Cartoon Network. What's the other company for that?
Of Cartoon Network?
Yeah, it's Cartoon Network, but I think there's like another term to describe like all their properties.
I don't think so. I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
Because
of like the Cartoon Network properties
it includes
at
like
large?
Looney Tunes, and I don't think that Looney Tunes are Cartoon Network as much as they're like on it, right? They're like own. They might be a separate thing.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. Now I got to look that up too. I just looked up the thing about MGM.
Something brings them all together, but I'm wondering what level that is. But did we ever talk about Tom and Jerry while you're looking this up? Did we ever talk about Tom and Jerry from the from Multiversus?
No, I don't think we have. But Warner Brothers owns, I think, like everything.
I think
Network,
it's Warner Brothers then. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a WB game.
Yeah. Okay. But no, we didn't talk about Tom and Jerry from, you said Multiversus?
Yeah, which is, I think they finally shut it down. It was like, they made some pretty poor decisions and like closing the beta again for people that paid for it, and then they like relaunched it, and it like wasn't really that different or good, like relative to what it was before. I thought it was fun when I was playing the open beta. They had a battle pass. You needed to unlock your characters through that, and then they'd have like, this character's free for this week. Want to play them, get a taste. And you have like your starting ones. But Tom and Jerry, Ice Climbers from Smash, right?
Of course.
So it's kind of a similar deal with Tom and Jerry, but all the animations are of like, it's like Tom trying to whack Jerry with a mallet, and then
Jerry moves out of the way and Tom hits the whatever in front of him.
Hits the enemy. Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh, I love that.
And like one of them is like lobbing like tennis balls at the other, and then I think like Jerry's like lobbing tennis balls at Tom, and Tom is like beating him with the badminton or the tennis racket.
That's the word you were caught. You got the tennis ball and you got caught up on tennis racket.
Yeah, well, the ball, it's a ball. It's a round thing, but like it's not a tennis bat. Like I was getting a bit lost there. I played tennis in high school too. I lost every single match I was in.
Oh damn!
0 points whole season.
Does Tom have a move where he just pulls out a gun and then tries to shoot Jerry? That happens a lot in the show.
I don't remember, but it would be fitting. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. But yeah.
Shoves a double barrel shotgun into the hole.
He uses the racket, and he's like trying to like bean Jerry with it. And it makes like a field, like an area where in between that you got like a projectile going back and multiple times.
That's cool. I like that it's like it literally like is them fighting back and forth. Like Tom's basically not even in the fight.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. Like
right?
It's really good implementation, and it's like true to the characters and stuff like that.
Right. It's literally how the Tom and Jerry episodes play out, where Tom accidentally destroys the whole house or accidentally like saves the day doing some shit just fighting Jerry.
Mm-hmm. Well, most of the shit that he does ends up just harming himself.
Right.
Like cutting off his own tail and going ah,
cutting it into little bits, and then being like and having to scoop all the bits up and bandage it.
Mm-hmm.
I am sad to announce, though, that since 2022, MGM Studios is a subsidiary of Amazon, so they are owned by one of the Big 12.
You said 13 earlier, but now that they're
I think it's 12. I looked it up. These 12 companies was like the big thing. Yeah, these 12 companies own 550 plus consumer brands. Ooh, that was the chart I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm. And you got a lot of like food companies that are all together, and then honestly, you have Amazon, which spreads itself very wide
everywhere.
integration.
Yeah.
But it is vertical, like they own like the production, they own the transport, they own the sale,
Yeah.
all that shit.
They own every single level of it. Soon they will rule us all. We're gonna be Skynet.
But I can send $3 to my buddy Trashcan Jones on Twitch once a month.
Jeff Bezos bucks. Appreciate it. Appreciate your Bezos bucks. Don't appreciate you, Jeff Bezos. Can't be saying that. Appreciate that time you fell though when you were trying to get out of your space capsule. That was funny. Do that some more.
Do it 500 times.
It'd be some funny slapstick. Honestly, we need to see we need to see more celebrity. I think just slapstick. I think nothing humanizes people more than getting in slapstick comedy. If you want to be a relatable person, just get a pie in the face or something like that. Just get slip on a banana peel, fall down some stairs, take some training obviously first to take the pratfall and not die, But just do something like that. If I saw Jeff Bezos slipping on a banana peel and fall down some stairs, I'd laugh pretty good, and I'd probably I feel a little bit better about him.
How'd you feel about the slap heard around the world?
Is that the one where the guy licks the back of his hand and then just
No,
claps
it's
that guy?
Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Oh, that one. That was the most ridiculous shit in the world. I'm surprised that and nobody tackled Will Smith right after that.
Well, I mean, he was walking away.
I still would have tackled Will Smith. First of all, if any opportunity where no one's gonna blame you to tackle Will Smith, bam, right there.
Okay.
Second, he just assaulted somebody for real. So if you tackle him and then they're like, "Hey, police," then police will probably be like, "Yeah." And then you get to be the guy that gets arrested. But you're gonna be the most famous hero in the world if you do it. I don't even care who you are. And
You're
also,
not gonna be a hero.
people are gonna praise you as a hero, no doubt. And second, it probably should have just been done because holy shit, he just kind of walked up and hit a guy on national TV. Can't fucking do that.
Well, he did. So I mean, hey, you're saying you want more slapstick? I'm offering you some slapsmith.
See,
Is that not close enough?
Hey, I see what you did there, but you got to be in on the slapsmith. Chris Rock was in on the slapsmith, and he did a big spin around and did a whoa 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 wobbled and then did a front flip down the stairs. Then while Will Smith was trying to talk and say all that shit, then it would have been way funnier. Would have absolutely ruined. Would have been a hilarious moment. No one even would have cared about Will Smith being a slapping guy.
Well, I mean, I think if it wasn't genuine, then no one would still remember it. Be like, hey, yeah, that funny thing. I mean, Will Smith did the YouTube rewind.
Exactly.
And that's just an embarrassment. People make fun of him for it.
Right. It's not something that needs to be remembered. It's just something that people see and are like, oh, that's even if it's not the most hilarious thing. It's just oh, it's funny and they're trying to be funny and they put themselves out there for it. So clap and move on.
I think even with the slapstick, it needs to be a bit, genuine, unexpected. You need to prank the person.
I could see
get them for real.
Yeah, but I feel part of it, if a really good slapstick needs to be over the top, like Naked Gun levels, and I feel you can't get that by surprise without serious injury. So they need to be in on it at least a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean with Naked Gun, if they really did that to OJ,
that'd be hilarious. Say that if that actually had happened to OJ in real life, right before he had passed away, people would have been like, you know what? Maybe I'll give you the pass. Took 4 pies, a cake, a bear trap, got on some wet paint,
30 bullets,
and then they got shot to shit.
thrown off a pier.
Because Naked Gun, I watched the third one too the other day. It's such a good goddamn movie series. If you haven't watched Naked Gun 1, 2.5, or 33 1/3, I recommend.
Now that we're on the pod, I want to wish you again a happy Trashcan birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Not to brag about the gifts or anything, but I did give him a copy of Spiderman.
Spider-Man 1 on DVD, which also, it's a 2-disc set, has 2 levels from the Spider-Man Activision PC game.
Crazy ass game. I got super stuck in it. And I think it was the part where you're in the subway and there's an electric guy and he's just shooting beams down different things and you gotta jump to different tracks to stay out of the way, and I could not get through it. But what I'm getting at is that our talking about Spider-Man did pretty well on Instagram, and Jones pulled a J. Jonah Jameson move and said, we need more Spider-Man.
Need more Spider-Man and beer. It was the episode we talked about that Pabst Genuine Draft whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that
Maybe
too.
I should have brought a beer too. But that's what I was thinking of.
Hell yeah.
We need more Spider-Man. Now we have a reason to talk about Spider-Man again.
Got more damn Spider-Man. Yeah, we got to watch the damn movie, then we can talk about more Spider-Man. We can do a whole Spider-Man review.
Exactly. We'll become a film podcast.
A film and beer podcast. We'll try to match every scene of Spider-Man with a different beer. Every single camera cut, we have to open a new beer.
Perfect.
It's the way it was meant to be enjoyed.
Spider-Man, every single time they say Spider-Man, you finish your beer.
Bring me more pictures of Spider-Man.
Ah, shit.
Ah, shit. Speaking of drinking beer, I think I brought it up to you before, but I want to do as ancillary content, like a power hour where we also just try to follow along with a Bob Ross video, just go like stroke for stroke on the painting. Mm-hmm. But like every minute we just have to like take a little sip of beer. There's a little shot of beer. Mm-hmm. And then by the end of the hour, or maybe even wine, because I guess beer was the way you're supposed to do it. Wine was the way I knew how to do it, but I guess that's not a good idea.
It's really funny because in college, like, yeah, we were doing wine power hours, and I found out later that you're supposed to do it with beer.
Yeah, well,
I don't think I could really do a wine power hour anymore. I mean,
with Franzia, you can get it done. Who cares?
I think I don't want to anymore. is the thing, but I could.
We'll drink lots of water to make sure afterward. It's only an hour of drinking. You know, it's not that bad. And then you get a nice painting at the end of it. Maybe like half a nice painting.
It's like this is like professional, like competitive wine painting night.
Essentially, yeah, because that's the biggest thing I want to do. Like, they have those boozy paintings where you like sip wine and paint a little bit. Well, I want to like, speed process that, but it's Bob Ross, so it's like it's speedy, but at the same time just like calm and soothing. So it's the same thing.
I have paint.
We're already halfway there.
We can get some plastic.
What are those
pallets.
called? The pallets, yeah, and then a little tarp to lay down. Probably gets a couple easels. Some canvas for us.
Mm-hmm. No, we just get a plastic tablecloth. Take this one off.
Yeah, that'd work too.
Put another one on.
Then we could just sit here, paint away. The biggest thing is going to be like just having the video of Bob Ross and just trying to go, because we're going to need all the different like tools that he has, like the 5 brushes, the plastic knife. We're going to need the what you call it, the odorless paint thinner, and the fucking something to beat the devil out of it.
Why do you want the odorless paint thinner?
That's what Bob Ross always has. He has the odorless paint thinner. Very good for the environment.
Good all the fun.
Well, yeah, I think he's just sitting in an enclosed room and doesn't want to be inhaling paint thinner for fucking 3 hours while he paints.
We talked about how he's a drill sergeant, right?
He was, yeah. He's used to be like, I think he was in the Air Force. He was the guy that would like scream at you and make you scrub the toilets and everything.
He quit because he thought it was a little mean.
Yeah.
He could do it. He just didn't like it.
Yeah. He got his classic afro/perm to save money on haircuts because he was not really making a whole lot of money when he first started painting.
No, that's a neat fact.
Yeah,
it's iconic.
Right, and that became just his thing. And then he did a whole lot of like animal activism too. That was always my favorite parts of painting, when it would just cut away to him like, oh, this is my friend over at the nature preserve, and she's rescuing this baby squirrel. We're gonna let him go in a few weeks, but isn't he just the cutest little thing? And it's just him like crawling in Bob Ross's pocket. I love it. That's going to be a part where we are going to be screwed on what he is painting. If we get to a part where he's just looking at squirrels, we're like, Bob, we're lost here. You were in the trees, and now we don't know where to go.
It's a break, just sip your wine.
Yeah, does he stop painting, though? That's the thing. I'm pretty sure he just goes. I don't even know if they leave a picture-in-picture. I'm trying to remember. We might, Bob might leave us in the dust.
Well, we'll give it our best shot.
We'll give it our best shot eventually, but for now, this is where we're going to call the end of this episode of Cold Hard Trash CRT46, not 48. I actually remember. I wasn't doing a bit earlier. I legit forgot that it was 46.
That's what I thought. This is right after I said it.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, share with anybody else who might enjoy podcast or doesn't understand numbers like me. And help us get to #1 podcast supreme. Hot dog, rocket chip. Yes.
Bye-bye.
See you.